don't know what the heck this was. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another book review on Colleen Hoover books. I'm not even gonna lie, I know the controversy around her somewhat. I don't know everything, and I read all these books before I knew about it, so yeah, I'm gonna be just like ranking the ones I read because I only read 6 of them. And honestly, I don't think I'm gonna be continuing reading her books because I've seen scandals about her and I don't want to support an author like that. But the books I did read, I'm going to rank because why not? So the first one I read was actually Damsel Dust, and I rated it 4 stars. Now I read it last summer, and it was like the first romance book I have read since like I started reading big novels. And this book, I bought it with like no idea what it was about, and it surprised me because this book is kind of centered around abuse, right? So that surprised me real bad. Like, I had no idea. So I got into the book and I thought it was pretty good. I feel like it touched on the topic well. But then she released the sequel. She released this book and I'm thinking, okay, she's releasing a sequel, that's good, because it's about the love interest from the first book I really liked. But then she released it and it's just really plain. It's like an extended epilogue of the last book. And did we need that? No. So I really can't stand this book. I rated it 2 stars because I was really anticipating it coming out, but then it came out and it was just really boring. Like, I was dragging myself through it, and it's like 300 and some pages of them not doing anything relevant to the last plot. Plus, there was, I can't get into that. No, because it'll give spoilers, but this was just not what it cracked up to be. It felt like she was trying to market off of the series because the first one did so good. And it's like, you don't have to do that. But I'm going to go on to the next book I read. So, the next book I read was Verity by her, which I heard was a thriller book. And honestly, I had never read a thriller before. So this one I rated 5 stars because I feel like her writing in this one was a lot darker. And I feel like it was kind of creepy. It was really creepy, and I didn't know what to believe, and I still don't know what to believe. Like, she ended the book at like, it's open for debate, and a lot of people do debate on it on TikTok. And honestly, I think I'm team Letter. I really do. Like, I don't know, something about the love interest in this book gave me a lot of bad vibes, and I wasn't a huge fan of the main character because she acted like she was doing things for a certain reason, but she was doing things because of herself, and I see that. And this is another like romance book by her I read, and I hadn't heard nothing about it. So I just picked it up because I was interested in more books by her. So I read this one, and it's called Maybe Someday, and I rated it 3 stars. It's about this girl, right? And I think her boyfriend, like in the beginning, cheated on her. And then throughout the story, cheating was just like a big part of this book, and I was not a big fan of that, like at all. They try to kind of rationalize cheating, and I'm like, okay. But yeah, this book was just kind of plain compared to some of the other ones by her I read, and I read like quite a few books by her, and this one just didn't stand out. But the main love interest in this book, he was deaf, so I thought that was very interesting, a different type of representation I never saw in books, but still was a really plain book. Like, no. Next book I read by her is Ugly Love. I don't know what the heck this was. Y'all told me on TikTok, well, not you guys, but people on TikTok, they told me that this book was really, really good. So I'm thinking, hopping into this book. I went to my bookstore, I bought it, I hopped into it, and I was like, okay, this better be 5 stars. And this book was 2. I can't stand this book. This book was just disgusting. It's something about it was just not right. I didn't like the main character. I didn't like her love interest. And I didn't like anything going on in it. Like, there's not one thing I can name right now what was like, okay, yeah, that was good. And it wasn't good. Like, it just felt like so much was happening for no entire reason, and the main characters kept ignoring their own boundaries. And I'm like, is this really what we're repping for in books? And then it ended, and it felt rushed. Like, it just was not it. I did not like this book at all. I think this was the worst book I read by her, and I did not like It Starts With Us at all either. But this one, Last book I read by her though was Reminders of Him, in which this book is about a young mother who fights to earn a place in her child's life. But is there room for her? That's literally what it says on the back. So I read this book. I rated it 5-star because this one did not seem like some of the other books she was writing. Like those books, a lot of them have more like playful writing in them. I think that's why I liked them, because I was just starting off reading these type of novels again. But this one felt more like general adult of her, if that makes sense, because that's the audience she's trying to reach. And it was really good, to be honest. It took me a little while to get through because it was definitely like heavier, I feel like, but it was good. The main character, I like her, and I liked her love interest in this book. And honestly, I really do think this was probably her best book, like written wise. This one or Verity, because Verity still is in the back of my mind. Now I'm going to rank her books because I honestly don't know what I'm gonna rank these books. So I think at the very bottom, we're putting Ugly Love at the bottom. That's number 6. Then we're putting It Starts With Us at number 5. Then we're putting The First Maybe Someday book, because this is a series, by the way. Who am I to be reading 2 more books about these people? Like, the first book was already boring. Why would I read another one? But we're putting that at 4. Then I think we will put It Ends With Us at 3, but I don't own the copy, so. And then I think I'd actually put Reminders of Him at 2. And then I put Verity at number 1. Because I felt like this book just had all the vibes I was looking for. Like, I definitely need to start reading more thriller books, because I really liked this book when I read it. So this one is number 1. So this is my ranking of her books, and It Ends With Us at 3. And that's really all. A lot of her books had these weird like lines in them as well, like just really cringy, weird stuff. I don't know why she put that in a book, but she did. And honestly, I'm just kind of happy I'm not going to be reading any more of her books, because her books just, they always have some weird underlying like stuff going on, like just odd. I've also heard about this book by her called November 9, and I've heard a lot of negative things about that book, so I'm thinking I might read it and do a reading vlog on it, because you know, I want to see what's so bad about it, to be honest. But that's all for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this little like review / rating of her books, because I feel like her books, there's a lot of like misconceptions about them. Like, honestly, I went into Ugly Love not thinking that it was gonna be the way it was, because people were saying it was so good. It's really not. But that's just my opinions on them, to be honest. If you like these books, that's totally your opinions on them. That's all for today's video though, and if you watch this video all the way through, I love you. And yeah, I'm going to try to make more reading vlogs though, because that's really what I want to do. I made one, but I still have to edit it. I think it's going to be out before this though. So yeah, if it's out before this, check it out. But that's all. You all have a great day, and that's all. Bye.